Alright, I have a quick rare candy guide for you guys today, and we are going to be focusing on cafe rare candies. That is right, the cafes inside of Pokemon centers will give you rare candies. It's easy to not know this because you go to a cafe, you buy a lemonade or some kind of pun beverage like a Tapu Koko, so you might not know that they're actually good for giving you rare candies. The way you can do this is by feeding your Pokemon Pokebeans, and depending on the amount of Pokebeans you have fed your Pokemon, you can see right here the guy says, oh, you fed your Pokemon 20 Pokebeans, here's a rare candy. 20 Pokebeans, here's a rare candy. Now, I've been hearing conflicting results, so I wanted to test how fast I can feed my Pokemon Pokebeans, as well as how many Pokebeans it takes to receive rare candies, but it's really not hard at all. That if you've been doing any kind of Pokemon refresh features, like I know there's some dedicated people out there that are hardcore into like Pokemon to me, Pokemon refresh, and they love and care for all of their Pokemon, so they've just been naturally feeding them Pokebeans. Also, if you're trying to get your Pokemon up to level 100, or if you're doing any kind of experience gaining method, you want to feed your Pokemon Pokebeans because maxing their affection, or at least giving them 3 hearts of affection, is a way of gaining more experience on that Pokemon. So you just might find out that you've already given a couple of your Pokemon enough beans to pick up 1, 2, or maybe even 3 rare candies already. So one thing I wanted to do was see how fast I could feed 18 Pokebeans to the Pokemon in my party. That I just set up 6 Pokemon, I feed them 3 each because after 3 they're too full to eat anymore, and then I go and swap them out in the PC for some more Pokemon. So to do a rotation of 3 for 18 Pokebeans, it took me about 3.5 minutes of just feeding the Pokemon and doing this. So that means you can do 18 every 3.5 minutes, and the next breakpoint I found was at 50 Pokebeans. So after you've fed your Pokemon 50 Pokebeans, you can receive 3 rare candies. It might be 4. I don't know if I talked to the cafe a long time ago and then I received a rare candy earlier on. And I think my game did kind of glitch out because it told me the 20 Pokebeans twice in a row. So 3 or 4 rare candies for a little over 10 minutes of work. Now this could be very worth it because rare candies are fairly rare in game. I wanted to look more into this, so I tweeted out on Twitter who has fed their Pokemon a lot of Pokebeans. I went to a cafe and it gave me a 20, 20, 50, but I've heard that it's in multiples of 10, and it seems like the consensus is around 5, 20, 50, something, 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 because after 50, you know, you have to be a crazy person that's fed their Pokemon a lot of Pokebeans. And if you're the kind of crazy person that has hit the future breakpoints for the Pokebeans, please leave a comment down below. I might add an annotation on the video, or I'll leave a comment saying like what people are saying, because it feels like 50, 75 would make sense, but jumping from 20 to 50 kind of implies that 100 would be the next breakpoint, and then it kind of gets exponential from there. So when I first heard about this, I heard multiples of 10s. That seems like people are getting it every 10, which means this would be an incredibly fast way of getting rare candies, but it seems like it starts to scale ridiculously, so it might not be as much of an option. And I also want to go and look into rare candies as well. So there's just, as in any Pokemon game, a random amount of rare candies just kind of hiding around, that you find them under a rock, or you find a Pokeball and you get a rare candy, and that's just pretty cool right there. In Pokemon Sun and Moon, I pulled up a guide from Cerebi, so it kind of shows Route 6, Aether House, Aether Paradise, Battle Tree, and all kinds of other places. Now, for these ones like the Battle Tree and Royal Avenue, that pretty much just means you're going to be spending battle points for them, but if you have a ton of extra battle points, I think it can be worth the rare candy investment if you're doing Hyper Train, because of the way that scaling experience works. And if you do want to find these rare candies for yourself, I'm not going to do like a video showing every location, but what you want to do is you want to click on the link, you go to the Cerebi Poke Earth page, and then you want to scroll down to the items, and then it'll say left of Beauty Brittany requires Tauros. Is that even on screen? Yes, it is. So you can find out where it is, and it's a good enough description to where you don't necessarily need a video to find out where the rare candies are. And then for the battle points, receiving a rare candy is going to be through wins. So complete a 20 win streak and return the next day. That's going to be a nice way of receiving rare candies. Okay, it looks like I got that a little wrong, that you can only buy rare candies at the Battle Royal shops. So you go to left shop, and then that is how you get rare candies right there. And it looks like at the Battle Tree, it's only from the win streak. So get a 20 win streak, grab yourself a rare candy. Also go for 30 and get a bottle cap, or go crazy and go for the ability capsule, PP Max, and stuff like that. But after looking at the Battle Tree, it doesn't have the rare candy, so you will want to go to the Battle Royal for that one, and then you can go pick yourself up a rare candy. As for other ways of getting rare candies, we have pickups. Now, if you win a trainer battle or faint a wild Pokemon, there's a 10% chance that you will receive an item on a pickup Pokemon, as long as it's not already holding another item. Now, in previous generations, there was a table and you need specific levels to get specific items, but in Pokemon Sun and Moon, it's just all of this. Now, higher levels will equate to getting rarer items, but if you're trying to farm for rare candies and you're just kind of doing some kind of battle grinding, if you're out there trying to complete the Pokedex and you're catching all kinds of wild Pokemon, I just recommend having as many pickup Pokemon as you can handle. So if you're trying to catch other Pokemon, or you're trying to synchronize for something specific, and you end up going through like a lot of wild battle encounters or something like that, just have pickup Pokemon. There's a chance you can get rare candies, or even Destiny Knots, which works for breeding and other things. You can make money off of big nuggets, but overall, like, the rare candies can add up in Pokemon Sun and Moon. And now the big question is, why even go for rare candies? For the most part, I can level up a Pokemon almost instantly, especially at like those earlier levels. You know, you faint one Pokemon that's a higher level, and then you jump up 20 levels out of nowhere. So what's the point of putting all the effort for the rare candies, since there's a very limited quantity in game, and then all the other methods take a little bit of time and a lot of work just for one level on your Pokemon? Well, the answer is this right here, because the experience chart in Pokemon Sun and Moon is absolutely brutal. As you can see, the experience starts getting pretty exponential. That, for the most part, to get on the battle spot or to do any competitive Pokemon battling, it's going to be flat battles, which is level 50. So all the way down here, that's level 50. So less than like 1/5 of the experience required for getting to level 100 is just going to be needed for getting to level 50, and you can do that in one Elite Four run. That if you have a Lucky Egg Pokemon in your party with the, like the Pokebeans and doing all kinds of other stuff, you can actually get a Pokemon to level 50 just from one Elite Four run. So that's going to be good enough for competitive, and then the experience just gets pretty ridiculous, and it goes up almost exponentially. So that's going to be one of the biggest cases for needing rare candies, because once you start hitting those upper levels like 80s and 90s, and then like the last 5 levels, the experience rates are going to be unbelievably high, and it's actually going to take less time to just use a rare candy on a level 98 or level 99 Pokemon to get them to level 100 than just actually doing the other experience methods in the game, which is why I said do it. Go and spend the 10 minutes to feed all of your Pokemon Pokebeans, or at least pay attention to that. When you have the opportunity to feed a Pokemon a bean, just go and do it, because after you get to that 50 breakpoint, that's free rare candies right there. That's 3 Pokemon from level 99 to level 100, which will be much faster with those 10 minutes than however long it takes to do them through experience methods. Also, if you already have pick up rare candies or other rare candies that you've obtained in game, this is going to be the way to make that final little bit of push compared to any other thing that you could do in Pokemon Sun and Moon. So that's why I feel that it's going to be very necessary, and the reason why you want level 100 Pokemon is going to be because of hyper training. Now, later today, I will be putting out a hyper training guide, but pretty much you need a level 100 Pokemon if you want to max out the IVs of a Pokemon using bottle caps. So it's going to be faster that if you've just kind of, through normal gameplay, acquired those rare candies, push a Pokemon to level 100, and that's going to be the way of optimizing this. And I guess we might as well talk about the kind of rare candies that you can kind of buy at the festival plaza. So as we see right here, we have these breakfasts and lunch and dinners and buffets and all kinds of crazy stuff going on that cost a varying level of festival coins. Well, depending on the level of a Pokemon, you can give it levels. So a fancy dinner for a Pokemon at level 79 or lower, it raises the Pokemon's level by 7 for 100 festival coins. That is going to be a lot right there. But at the same time, we have the rare buffet, hearty meal at level 89 or lower, and then raises level by 9. So you get a level 89 Pokemon to level 98, you use 2 rare candies, and then that is going to cut out an insane amount of the experience chunk. So as we can see right here, you know, level 89, that's here compared to here, what it takes to finish off the Pokemon, or whatever else. It's still a huge amount that you can do, that you can polish off with a quick amount of festival coins and other stuff like that, which is why I feel the global missions are super important. That if you already have these cafes set up and you're getting 4,000 points for completing a global mission, that's going to help you get a lot of Pokemon to that level 100, or at least balance out the levels on your team, or at least set up something that way you can gain more levels for your Pokemon for hyper training. So as you can see right here, we need a 5-star rare kitchen to be able to set that up. So that's going to be very expensive right there. Also going to be a pretty rare find, but then that's also going to help with gaining the levels. And even you can also get rare candies from the lottery in the Festival Plaza. Now, you guys might have some treasure hunt set up for gold bottle caps and stuff, but you can also transition over the big dreams. You can go for Master Balls, which are pretty awesome, get PP Max, PP Up, and then we can see that the top 2 prizes, depending on what you have, Big Dreams, Gold Rush, or Treasure Hunt will give you different items. And if you're trying to get rare candies, this really adds up. I've gotten quite a few bottle caps from having just all treasure hunts. So instead, if you have all big dreams, you might be able to average a rare candy every day or two, and then that can just kind of snowball into more levels for your Pokemon. Now, something really crazy you can do with rare candies is farm an infinite amount of rare candies using the lottery. They already have a method for doing this with the bottle cap, but it works for the big dreams. That if you get offered a big dreams 2-star at any point, you should honestly take it, because the first time you talk to it, it will give you a guaranteed rare candy, much how the 2-star treasure hunt will give you a guaranteed bottle cap. I have a video testing and proving this, so pretty much what you want to do is you want to get a friend or some kind of random person. Like if there's a random person online that says their favorite place, pretty much you just watch this guide, they'll say that their favorite place is a 2-star treasure hunt or a 2-star big dreams. So by adding someone as a friend that has this as their recommended shop, you can always win the second place prize, because you set it up, you get the guaranteed one, and then you just clear it out with something. You know, you talk to a random person, you get a 1-star that costs 50 festival coins, then you reinstall the 2-star, and then that is your way of receiving a rare candy or a bottle cap. And that's why I feel it was so important that we win these like online global missions and stuff. Say if we won the Pokemon catching mission and we also won the 1 million island scan mission, that's 6,000 festival coins. That can be used for all kinds of things. It means we could have gotten almost 40 rare candies or 40 regular bottle caps through these methods right here, just by having those extra festival coins, or also setting up Pokemon for 9 levels. Like, that's another thing to consider, that if I can find the Festival Plaza one that I had set up, that it costs 300 festival coins. Like, that's an insane amount. 300 festival coins, that's for 9 levels right there. So that means we have, you know, 6,000 festival coins times 9. Yeah, we get a lot of work done with this, and that is a lot of levels through the hyper training, which is why I'm really upset that we didn't have enough people work on these global missions, because the Festival Plaza can be very useful for receiving all kinds of items, and that's still setting up things. That if you have all these treasure hunts, if you have all of these big dreams, you're rolling for rare candies, you're setting up cafes, the amount of items and the amount of levels that you can pump into your Pokemon is actually very surprising. So you can try to offset like the level experience chart and then work for things like that, and then it all goes back to the cafe. Then you just go to the Pokemon Center cafe, you start your rare candy journey, and hopefully that's enough to really push your Pokemon to the next level, quite literally. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.